This guy right here on my shirt is a Ned. This guy's a Ned. This guy's a Ned. And this guy's a Ned. And this is kind of like a Ned, but level of concern version. So besides being absolutely adorable, Ned actually does have a valuable place in the 21 Pilots lore. So let's talk about it. Yes, I have an intro now. Ooh. Yes, today's video is about Ned because I feel like Ned is everywhere. He's been in multiple music videos, he's been in visuals on stage, he even has his own merchandise, and of course, being absolutely adorable, he's big within the clique, but I don't see a lot of people talking about his significance or what he represents, so today we are going to change that. Now, when most people think of Ned, they're probably going to associate him with the Chlorine music video, and rightly so, but there is actually a reference to him in Nico in the Niners. During one of the reversed parts, Tyler says, "We are the Banditos," but because it's in reverse, it sounds like he's saying, "So keep Ned by you." And this was confirmed to be an actual Ned reference because it's the name of his merchandise store, alright? The online store just for Ned merch is called Ned's Bayou. Also, the pop-up shop in Columbus that popped up one time, that was also called Ned's Bayou. I actually got to go, it was wonderful, and the place smelled like chlorine. It literally smelled like chlorine in there. So if Tyler is saying keep Ned by you, obviously he is some sort of an important player here, but what is that exactly? Well, we can get a better idea of this if you look at his main song, Chlorine. So without getting too much into it, Chlorine is a song all about how Tyler uses his art, how he uses music to cleanse himself. Chlorine is a chemical that cleans. You put it in pools, right? It's a cleansing chemical. And so by Tyler saying this beat is a chemical, he's saying that he's using art, he's using music as a way to clean his mind, as a way to cope with all of those negative emotions and feelings and things that he's dealing with. So if we take the meaning of Chlorine and we take keep Ned by you, we could assume that Ned is a good guy. He does something positive. He helps Tyler with those negative emotions. If you take a look at the actual music video, there's some more hints that help you out as to what Ned might represent. Now, the whole basis of the music video is Tyler and Josh are trying to fill this pool up so Ned can go swimming, which has led a lot of fans to speculate that Ned is a representation of Tyler's creativity, of Tyler's imagination, the art itself, the music itself. And so by Tyler and Josh constantly trying to feed Ned chlorine, Tyler is always trying to feed his imagination, always trying to feed that more artistic side of him, maybe to cleanse and get rid of all of those thoughts in his mind. And when the pool is full, we could see that Ned jumps in and he sprouts these big antlers, but it's just not enough. He's still not happy. At the very end, the pool is empty again, and he doesn't even want the little cup of chlorine that Tyler offered him. Now, there are multiple ways to go about looking at this music video. You can say that Tyler's always feeding his imagination, always trying to feed that creativity, but it can never be stopped. It can never be satisfied. It's an ongoing process. It never ends. And if you are creative, I think you do kind of get in those cycles where it's like, I never feel like what I'm doing is enough. I always got to keep going. I always got to go to the next project, the next album, whatever it is. And I think somebody like Tyler probably has that mindset where it's like, I just got to keep going. I just got to keep feeding my mind, right? But my other little interpretation here is that the Chlorine music video might represent the album cycle as well. There was a creative peak in the music video where the pool is full and Ned has his big antlers and everything's great and we're all swimming in the pool. That is the album release. But the empty pool represents starting that cycle all over again. You release one album and people are just expecting more. You have to start from zero again. What's the next album gonna be? And for a musician who that's their entire life, it's probably a never-ending cycle. Another little thing with Ned is that he shows up in the Hype music video. More specifically, he shows up in the arms of a fan. Now, if Ned represents creativity, it absolutely makes sense that you would see him with the fans. Creativity is something I feel like is so rampant in the clique. You have seen so many people create fan art, create songs, learn to play instruments. So much has branched off because of 21 Pilots and their music. By that person holding Ned, the clique is literally embracing creativity, and I can see why that's a thing. Now, Ned represents something beyond just the endless cycle that comes with a creative mind. He's actually used as a weapon in the lore. Well, at least his antlers are. See, Ned is less of a name and more of an acronym. It actually stands for Neuro Expansion Device. Yeah, that's catchy, isn't it? And from the outside music video, we learned that Ned's antlers is actually an important component when it comes to Clancy seizing. In order for Clancy to seize the bishops, he has to use Ned's antlers. He has to use his creativity to battle those negative feelings. And using creativity as a weapon is something that we have seen in 21 Pilots before. Some see a pin, I see a harpoon. One of the key elements of 21 Pilots is using creativity to get out of a bad spot. If you can create something, then you can start to build purpose for yourself. And I would argue that that is one of the key elements to 21 Pilots, one of the key takeaway messages of the band. And I really do think that's what Clancy is doing here. He's taking his imagination, he's taking his creativity, what he creates, to defeat Dima. Now, I do want to mention really briefly the shirt that I'm wearing now, and a couple of other merch shirts, I believe, included the phrase, "Ned will show us the way." And I think this does tie back to keep Ned by you. 21 Pilots is saying, be creative, go out and make things, use your imagination, because when you go out there and create, that'll show you the way. That will help you find your purpose, but that'll also help you fight your battles. You can literally take your problems by the antlers and take control of your life if you just start to create. And when you consider just how much creativity is in the clique, it absolutely makes sense that there is a character to represent this. Now, kind of a one-off thing here, Tyler does mention how marketable his imagination is. Considering he is a musician, considering this is his job, he does have to use his mind as a moneymaker. In Chlorine, he literally says, "But now you double as a paper maker. Not only were you this way for me to escape, not only are you this way for me to fight what I'm feeling, but you're also the way that I make a living now. I have to use you to live, to survive." Which is kind of how I interpreted the Ned bread bag in Backslide. Ned is now this marketable thing because Tyler is turning his art, turning his creativity into a product, which is obviously music, a consumable thing for fans to buy, and that's literally his living. And so the Ned breads represent marketable art. So in conclusion, Ned represents creativity, he represents imagination, he represents everything that our minds come up with. He also represents how powerful that can be when confronting your own struggles, but also how marketable that can be as well, and how that toes a fine line in Tyler's life. So not only is he just a cute little face, he is a reminder that you should go out there and create. Go build something, go make something, go be artistic and creative, okay? If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe to join the Groovy Graveyard. Shout out to my patrons over on Patreon, and I will see you in the next one.